VOLA are finally back. It's been almost a full year since they released Paper Wolf, but we finally got another single from their upcoming album, Friend of a Phantom, that I believe is supposed to come out around November. Not entirely sure. We're rocking the unedited intro today because we're here waiting on the premiere. I am not trying to waste any minutes, any seconds before I can hear this because I've been waiting and anticipating another song every day since that came out last summer. I'm so excited. For those of you who don't know, VOLA are my favorite band ever. Agent Fresco are up there as well, but VOLA, just the songwriting formula they have. I have never heard a VOLA song that I wouldn't play again on repeat, and that's just what I'm expecting here. They've never released a bad song. Everything's extremely replayable, and their balance between soft and heavy is just insane. Insanely good. Paper Wolf was in my top 10 songs. Got me all excited here. I'm messing up my words, but Paper Wolf was in my top 10 for last year in terms of songs. I think it was around number 8. But with the whole album coming out this year, I am scared for what my end of year list is going to become, because the album is 9 songs, I believe, and I wouldn't be surprised if all 9 of those end up making the list. But let's get this. VOLA, Break My Lying Tongue premiere is just about to start. We're getting some more people coming. We got like just over 100 people hopping on in the last few minutes, so excited for this one. It's always a good day when VOLA come out and drop new music. Also was lucky enough to see them last year at the Troubadour, and definitely, if you get a chance to see these guys, don't miss it. I haven't been to many concerts in my life, but that was by far the best concert that I've ever seen, like by a mile and a half, and just ridiculous sound. They leave you feeling like a different person after you leave the venue. It's just a ridiculous show. And these guys have such good chemistry, and you could hear it through the music. But I'm just excited to see where they go from Paper Wolf. That was a very interesting song. Lots of more modern influences in there, so I'm curious. I know VOLA like to balance their singles, a little like a heavier one, a softer one, but based on the setting of this music video and the name of the song, I have a feeling it's going to be another banger. So we'll just have to see. And the countdown is moving. Here we go. New VOLA. It's time. Break My Lying Tongue. I'm buzzing right now. I cannot wait for this one. I'm very curious to see if they do ever end up going back to some of their early sounds. I do actually think In Mazes is probably my favorite album of theirs. All of my favorite tracks, like Owls and the title track, kind of lie on there, and that more progressive sound, but I have loved everything that they have done. Absolutely everything, so no complaining at all. Witness was one of the best albums I've ever heard. Applause is just so beautiful and delicate. But yeah, very curious where they go with this album, if it's going to be heavier, if it's going to be more charged or more hopeful. Because I do love that hopeful side. Even when they are singing about darker, more serious topics, they seem to bring that element in regardless. So, 25 seconds. I'm curious how long this is too. At Paper Wolf was just around 4 minutes. Hoping for something a little bit longer. I got goosebumps. I got the VOLA jacket on. Let's go! Ooh, the synths. The synth tone is ridiculous. We're in 5/4. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. Woo. It's so warm. Another week of misalignment. I love it already. I'm in love. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. Oh, this soundscape is so flavorful. A tiny flea of my obsessions. I'll let it strike and play. I love the way they bounce around this 5/4. Asger, you are an angel. It has that sweetness and that melancholy. Very standard structure so far. We got intro, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. I want to see where they go from here. This music video is so sick. Getting a little darker. Give me some melody. Come on, Adam. Synth tone. Where are we going from here? Give me something. Oh. That's it? Is that the whole song? No. No. That's it. That's it. Oh, so short. How long was that? How long was that? Oh, it was like hardly 3.5, 4 minutes. So good though. VOLA, man. Always, always, always on it. VOLA have simply done it again. They've done it again. They always do it. They always just take over the scene and produce the catchiest but most flavorful, most mature sounding progressive metal that there is in the scene. This song was short. That's probably my biggest takeaway because I feel like parts of it should have been extended further. But everything was there that you would need in a VOLA song. It was extremely tight, extremely to the point, and the synths, just like in Paper Wolf, are shining, absolutely shining. I loved how almost dry the synth tone was from Martin because it was able to drive the song forward and provide a lot of punch and a lot of direction. And I always like when bands take the instrumentation of the chorus and use that in the intro, so when it does come back, you have that little bit of familiarity, something to grab onto. But with the chorus as well, not a lot of singing going on. I like how they left breathing room and space within the chorus to sink into the melodies, but when Asger did come in with those falsettos, just angelic and beautiful. I actually think the verses were my favorite part of the song, especially the first one, because of how controlled and delicate that groove was from Adam, but it hit so many different pockets and different ranges. Some of the rolls and textures on the hi-hat, the little offbeats gave it a nice sense of freedom within that 5/4, and is just so beautiful. The vocals during those verses were so sweet and melancholic, like something you would find on Applause of a Distant Crowd, which is just perfect to my ears. It was just amazing and felt like they were giving me a warm hug through their music, which is something that Asger talked about on their recent interview. And I just have to say they've followed through on their next song with that, because beautiful warmth, beautiful depth, so many layers, especially in those verses. So I want to just give biggest shout out for that part of the song specifically. Even if it does have a more mainstream and straightforward structure than some of their older songs, I like that they returned to an odd time signature with that 5/4 groove. This one was a nice breath of fresh air in a way. It honestly wasn't as heavy as I thought it would be with the title, and I actually kind of like that. The way they built that forward with the synth solo at the end, bringing that riff in completely took me away. It surprised me, and it was the perfect impact to cap off that song. I was listening to a lot of VOLA this morning to prepare for this, and I was really hoping that we would get some sort of synth solo in this. It was minimalistic as always with their solos. VOLA only do what's necessary to get the point across and to just add a little bit of substance to the story and to the song, and they did it once again. A perfect complementary solo, if you will, and then Asger breaking through with those harsh vocals to transition into that riff at the end. I will say I do think they could have carried that riff on maybe for a double bar, continued it a little farther, because I was only just getting into what was actually happening and attaching myself to the groove, and they cut it off. Only a 3-minute 40-something second song. They definitely could have afforded to extend that riff a little, or maybe even some of the bridge parts, but still heavy, beautiful nonetheless. Bass tone from Nikolai was just ridiculous in this one, so grimy and glued the track. VOLA sounds so good. Their production is so tight, a top end production from these guys. As always, the music video is beautiful and reflected everything that you would need in the song. They picked the perfect location, and seeing those kind of bright lights firing around those pillars and those skylights going all through the water tower, it was perfect, and it was honestly a nice reflection of my synesthesia, which was awesome to see. Those punchy synths brought a lot of oranges and pointed colors into the mix, lime greens, bright things darting around me, but brought back down with these kind of oceanic blues and greens that were sweeping around and taking center stage, with my synesthesia bathing in those calming blues and everything. Helped balance out the track a lot, and that's what gave into that almost uplifting, melancholic, sweet feeling in those verses. I think that's why I appreciated them a lot more, because of the colors that I was in were very comforting, very nice, and those synths offered a contrast and a pairing that was perfect. It was perfect for the song. I do hope for something a bit longer next time, with a bit more adventure going out throughout the song. Some more risks being taken, different structures, because the songs that they do have where they go off on a bit of a tangent, try something new like In Mazes, it always works. It's always beautiful, and I think we are going to get that if it is a 9-song album. These first 2 singles have been quite short, so I'm sure we'll get some slightly longer, maybe 5-6 minute tracks. But for the singles, you want them to be punchy, you want them to be tight, and we've been getting that. So I have to say this was a fantastic song. I might like it a little bit more than Paper Wolf, but I'm not entirely sure yet. I'll have to give it more of a listen, and we will definitely be back with the next one whenever that may be. Thank you again to VOLA. Let me know what you guys thought of the track, and I will see you guys next time.
Behind the cracks in your excitement, there is a part